Welcome to the BAMS cast, week 6 recap, but not a recap. This is going to be a hashtag BAM short. After last week not releasing anything, even though we did record, I didn't send the file to Ben because last weekend, all weekend, I was drinking. So this time we're doing a BAM short. We're just going to try to do some quick hitters. Zintac has a list of things. You know, we every once in a while we got to break up the tedium here of like the structure. We got to go through the waiver wire and the recaps and the outlook on the week. We're gonna pass it off to the commish here. How you doing, my friends? What do we got on the docket?
I'm great. I hope you had a great weekend drinking, and I just want to say we did, like you said, record the 5th week recap, and it's right now in the bowels of BAMS. No one has ever seen it, and if anyone is interested, it's a $3.99 subscription for the Prime BAMS members.
Just wanted to put that out there. On Patreon.
Yes.
One thing that came out of last week was the new old guy. To remember his name, we've turned it into an acronym, so he is going to be referred to interchangeably as the Nog. And it was the Nog's bachelor party last weekend. So that is why when you sent me a text Sunday morning of where the file was, I was like, not even close, brother. I was in the city and away from my laptop, and it was just dead. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to break things up. It's going to be the first BAMS short in case we want to put this on the TikTok. I got 8 topics, Tim. We're going to hit them. We're going to talk about them. We're going to get the hell out of here. We got work to do. We got dogs to walk. We got dinner to eat. And if you have any other topics, I left 2 open for a potential 10 spot. So
love it.
You go with that?
Yep.
Okay. I just added this while you were talking. We're going to start talking about periods, a different new BAMS lingo. Okay. So stay with me. We like hockey periods.
Got it.
Okay, 3 periods. Think of the season, regular season. First 5 weeks is period 1. Then you got the middle 4, and then you got the closing 5. Okay, that adds up. We're 5 weeks in. That's where everyone's jockeying to get, not really kill themselves and try and stay irrelevant so they can fight and kind of see where things are at. We just finished the first period and we got a lot to talk about. We'll hit a little bit today, but we're in that middle period now. This is probably the most exciting 4 weeks, month in the BAMS regular season when everyone's making trades, deciding what they want to do. So I just got to tell you that I'm pumped for this month. And I mean, it's off to a booming start. We'll talk about that. And then you got the final 5 weeks of, who's going to win all the money. Right now, it looks like Ford's running away with damn near everything. But that's the first point. Unless you have anything to add to that, it's kind of just like nothing too crazy to talk about unless something sticks out to you there.
You can't win the season in the first period, but you can lose the season in the first period. And as we've seen, there's been a couple of teams that have already begun waving the white flag and selling off some pieces in the trades. More power to them. Set yourself up for next year. But we'll probably hit on it. But it is now a slimming window of teams that are still in contention for making a push here down the stretch.
Yeah, I love it. So that's going to take us right into the segue of Ford's dominance is number 2. We're not going to get into matchups of last week, but I was just looking at Ford, and I think unfortunately you were the victim last week. But not only is he beating people, but he's just got like if you take individual performances of players, I think the top 10 are on Ford's teams. Yeah, DJ Moore's big week a couple weeks ago. I feel like Tua's got some of the biggest weeks. And then Mostert, and then Keenan Allen is also. I'm pretty sure he has like a 30-point week. So he's just like embarrassment of riches type situation. 3 of the first 6 weeks, best score has gone to him. So he's already. I forget what the buy-in was, but he's close to getting his money back, and we're just into period 2. Thoughts? You could talk about your matchup with that. I mean, you saw it firsthand.
Yeah, I put up another triple-digit week. It's what I do. My team's so insanely rock solid, but I just don't win games. And with that, it is thanks to Ford, I am back leading the most points against category. Fun little matchup this week is when we're talking about we're reaching that point in the season of determining if you're a buyer or a seller. I'm going up against the Baloney Squeezes. Very fun matchup because we are next to each other right in the middle of the league, right on the cusp of that 6 spots that you want to get to. I just said I had the most points against. He has the least points against. So it is the unlucky versus the lucky. And but that's the interesting thing. If I lose to the Baloney Squeezes, let this be a PSA to everybody that I am selling because I just can't come back from that. So AJ Brown, you want to give me a second? Absolutely. You can have him. Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Anthony Richardson, any of those quarterbacks, you can have them. Wow. We can sell as soon as a loss this week to the Baloney Squeezes. But if I win, based on me having like 150 more points than Baloney Squeezes, I actually put myself back into the mix for making a run. So a lot riding on this week there. That was off of a question about Ford's team. Ford's team's sick. I mean, I look at the team and actually it's like, it's an all name team. It's maybe a team that you would look at and be like, oh, really, really cool by names, but like they can't back it up with production, except they are all backing it up with production. I feel like Darren Waller is an interesting name of like the Giants absolutely suck, but he's their only guy. Kamara, Derek Carr can't throw a ball over 10 yards. So Kamara's just getting 9 catches a game, scoring touchdowns. Like there's Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DK Metcalf.
12 catches. 12 catches a game.
There you go. But like all these guys are kind of in like, they've been around, they're veteran names, and maybe on paper going into the season, you could have made fun of them for like grabbing a lot of older established veteran names and not like almost a guy that drafted 2 years ago. And like, oh, you missed out on their primes, except it feels like all of their primes are happening right now. You called it early on in the season of like, this team seems primed for a lot of injuries. It hasn't happened. But it's an interesting mix. And if these dudes who are all maybe more 25 years and up, if they can hold on, then yeah, this thing's his. But I mean, if we're going to dead some guys this week, like I think
we'll get there.
Okay. Okay.
Feel like your whole family's going down first. Little more on that. You talk about the big games. Kamara, last night, 12 receptions, 27 points. He probably got him in like the 4th or 5th round because of his suspension. His suspension was 3 games, and he's, I'm pretty sure, leading running backs in receptions already because of how afraid Derek Carr must be from.
There's stats of like, I think just in receiving for PPR, Kamara having missed those games, like on the season, he's already has like higher points than like Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, like all these like big receiving names. So, I mean, it just Ford gets richer. I love to see it.
Pray Darren Waller doesn't join the party because he sucked. He's 4 points, 4.7, 13. 13's his big game. Pray that he doesn't join it. But Christian McCaffrey's his name. Hey, he got hurt last week. Sorry for it. I'm hoping he doesn't play this week. Just even things out. Okay, and on that, while we're there, he once again increased his lead to 178 points. Commissioner's in second right now. Points back. 180 points. That's a whole week that he's in front of the league. Pretty crazy. Pretty impressive. I'm done talking about Ford unless you got anything else.
Oh my God.
Over it.
For the year.
Done. Point number 3, I believe it is. You kind of talked about it with your matchup here with Grimmer, but it's 6 teams vying for the final 2 spots. And I know it's still early, but we're period 2. Things are starting to shape up. And yeah, that matchup is awesome. It's perfect week for something like that. We got Baloney Squeeze Hardo 6 versus 7. Between Diesel guys, Baloney Squeeze all the way down to TGBs, the gang bangs. One game between them vying for those 6 spots. So it's going to be a fun couple weeks. I know gangbangs have already made trades. Is that it? Diesel guys have acquired Josh Jacobs from gangbang. So that's the only trade between the 6 teams. So
yes, and then we had a hashtag veto, but then it's back.
Mhm.
And did that go through, or is it close
did.
to? Oh,
No, it did. It was we'll talk about trades.
but
I don't want to waste a bullet point.
got it. I won't mess with the bullet point.
Anything on the middle of the I'm just kind of pointing out that we got those teams vying for those two spots.
Yeah,
Not too
so
substantial.
without getting into trades, I mean, we've already got some teams that have decided that they are sellers on the season, so it thins out the herd a little bit more. I'll already correct myself about how biased I was of talking about how many more points I have than the Baloney Squeezes. I have 19 more points on the season than Baloney Squeezes, so we are very similar in points for, but it's the points against that we have a almost 200 point difference in the points against. So, yeah, I would love some regression, just some regression. But Michael Thomas toe tapped in the fourth quarter last night, and that just was not something I needed because it was just such a bad game. And then out of nowhere, Mike Thomas, he's in.
Oh,
So
is he on the squeezes right now?
He's on
Oh
squeezes.
yeah, he is. You got Kirk coming up a little bit, get you some points, but yeah, that's too bad. Okay, let's move on. So we did start hitting at it, but let's talk trades. Trade season's underway. I have a couple trades, just kind of picking away. We talked about getting to Jacoby Myers for Jameson Williams, and then I picked up Chris Godwin for a pick, I think a 5th round. More just like depth pieces for me. I'm in a weird position where, and I'm just gonna go off here because it's on my mind, is I like my team, and it might be a risk, but right now I'm not crazy about making any big moves. I'm gonna more just depth pieces and kind of see where it goes and see if I can do well without giving away big draft picks, because the last couple of years that's what I've done. So that's where my head's at. Those are a couple of trades, but we got bigger one. Yes, you want to talk about the one that vetoed, and I can give the details, or do you have that not in front of you?
Well, I'll start by saying the trades have turned into like try to find that headliner, absolute first round, second round banger talent traded away for a high pick next year. I like what you did there. Just like I'm always a fan of just like the very balanced 5th, 6th round type moves. And those are the ones that you can kind of like hang your hat on at the end of the year of like you were making the tweaks at the right time. The wholesale changes were just like,
Yeah,
after this season, give me a stud, all that stuff. Like those will happen as well. But I like what you did there. As we're talking about the one vetoed, it was just a matter of the pick compensation being off. So we were talking about the Fiana and Derek's Rad team of a trade that included Cooper Kupp, and you probably have the details up, but that was the key thing, that it was like the personnel made sense in a trade, but the picks were as if they were flipped, where it was like, if you're giving away Cooper Kupp, you shouldn't be getting the short end of the stick on the picks. And that is what was in that original trade, which is why I got vetoed to the ground. Then in the updated version of what was sent out, it's as if they just rectified and flipped those pick swaps in a way that the Fiana trades away Cooper Kupp, but lands on the positive side of the pick exchange.
Yeah. And before I get into exactly all the details here, I do want to say 1289. Yeah, that was a record. Yeah. That's a BAMS record. A trade getting vetoed in 12 minutes and 89 seconds. Love it. Love it.
Why?
Everyone is on their game. And like you said, it was pretty blatant which higher round should have gone to who, and everyone saw that, vetoed it down. Respect to the league. They understood, and the trade went right back up the way it should be, and it went through. So yeah, it's Garrett Wilson and Roshan Johnson in a 3rd round to the Fiana. I'm pretty sure Garrett Wilson is a nice keeper, so that's a nice little pick for the last place team. And then Derek's team just got stronger, and a 5th round pick. Cooper Kupp, Romeo Dubs. He is in 2nd place, and that wide receiver core now. Are they on bye? God, I still don't like it. How is he in 2nd place? Before His wide receivers are Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, Darnell Mooney, CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb's not having a great year, but I mean he's good. He's out now. Or no, that's Montgomery. Oh my goodness. He's got a good team. I know. I think I've crapped on his team a couple
I was
times.
losing my damn mind, but I mean he's fourth in points. He's putting up plenty of points.
Yeah.
But maybe off of that reaction is like there's a reason he made a trade for a win now receiver. So there you go.
I like
it.
And
pretty clear win now versus win later, even balanced trade there.
Yes, I like it. Good start to the big trade season. Josh Jacobs going to the Diesel guys. Coming from the T Gang Bangs. A round 2 was also swapped there in a 12. Sprinkling it in for the Diesel guys. I love this trade mainly because I'm playing the TGBs this week, and the timing could not have been better for them to lose Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
And any win these days, especially when I'm trying to stay near the top, is good. So strong running back room there for the Diesel guys. He's fighting. He is at 3 as far as most points goes. Still chasing 4 by over 200 points because we talk about that. But
and I think every team's got their brand, and the Diesel guys, their brand is load up on receivers and find out solutions in the running back room during the season. And I think what happened was Diesel guys, they're kind of on the cusp, but on the positive side of the cusp, like probably in the playoffs, if it, things just,
guys.
Yeah, if they continue on the same pace, he probably makes the playoffs. But this is a move of a guy who said, all right, roster construction was heavy receivers. I thought a running back would emerge at this point. You know what? I'm going to take my shot this year. We're not going to just waver towards the middle. I'm going to get myself a stud at the running back position. Didn't have to endure the slow start of Jacobs, waited for Jacobs to warm up before he gives up that second round value to get Jacobs. So a guy that was kind of grinding out wins without a strong running back room, just got a lot stronger. So, I mean, Diesel guys, it's the right move at the right time.
Yeah. And I'm going to go out on a limb, especially after Calvin Ridley's 1-point fantasy night last night, to say he's going to try and bolster that wide receiver room before the deadline is here. But anyway, team's looking good. That brings me to the next point, Tim. Hardo, rule change explanation. I sent a text yesterday, which would have been appropriate to send it out before the trades began, but
we talked about it a lot, and this is just more clearing up. But if it wasn't clear, keepers, okay?
Big. This is big.
Last year, I traded for whoever, not important, but I didn't have X rounds, a 12th round, say, and Justin Fields was my 12th round. So I went out and I looked for someone else's 12th round. So there's a lot of draft picks being traded. People were kind of confused. That confused a lot, me making the draft board, and that's kind of the main motivator of this. But if you're keeping someone, they have to take one of your draft places. You keep going up closer to first until it hits one of the draft places. So if you have a 6th round, you don't have a 6th pick, it goes to your 5th. You don't have a 5th, it goes to your 4th. Pretty clear, I think.
Yeah. Example is I traded for Amari Cooper last year, so I got Amari Cooper on my team. He was drafted in the 6th round. I wanted to keep him this year. So I was like, awesome, I'll keep him in the 5th. Looked at my draft board. I traded away my 5th. So I had to keep Amari Cooper in the 4th round this year. So that's an example of try to be cognizant. And that's the biggest thing I try to call out of anybody making trades, anyone giving away picks. Look at your draft board, look at your roster and where dudes were drafted and which of who are those 3 guys you have in the mix of who you potentially will keep. Don't trade away the spot that's above one of your keepers. So that's just our PSA. The commissioner has made it clear. So no bitching if this comes up at a later date. One thing we maybe didn't establish, and it's a very, very particular one. In this case of Amari Cooper, I kept him. I should have kept him in the 5th, but I had traded that away, so I kept him in the 4th. If someone wanted to keep him again this year, which no one would in the 3rd round, but is that technicality if I had to skip a spot set in stone now. So now he's a 3rd round keeper. I think for just sake of how keeping track of stuff, like it's just got to be like this.
You hit it on the head.
He was kept it as a 4th, so that's in the books. He was a 4th, so if you want to keep him, it's going to be a 3rd next year.
You stole the answer right out of my mouth. Yeah,
okay.
I'm not gonna dig in and see what. Yeah, no. If he was a 4th, he's a 3rd. If he was a 3rd because he had to skip a 4th, it's gonna be a 2nd.
Yeah.
Funny story. I won't name names, but I was talking with someone about trade, and they're trying to trade me someone, and they didn't know, so it's not their fault. But they're trying to trade me someone, and say it was a 4th round, and they wanted a 3rd round pick for it, and they were hyping up like the keeper status of it. So they wanted to trade me someone who was drafted in the 4th.
Okay.
And they wanted my 3rd. So it didn't get to the point where I was going to like pull the trigger and really look into it. But afterwards, I'm like, if I trade you away my 3rd, it's just going to have to be my 2nd and just blow the trade up. And they had no idea either, but it's kind of funny.
No,
story.
That's a good point.
A good, point to just keep an eye on your things. Because I didn't do that in any of my trades. I traded away that, I think, my 5th. And luckily, I'm not going to need to use that 5th for a keeper next year. But let's move on. On a lighter note, not that any of these notes aren't light. Christmas time, lottery time. We got our first BAMS holiday lottery. December 17th. Mark it down.
Oh,
it's a Sunday.
It's
a Sunday.
Perfect. A week before Christmas Eve. If you have other holiday plans, they're not going to be as fun. Show up. You haven't had a heater in 365 days. Great. Have a couple.
Think about the heaters. Think about the camaraderie. It's that time of the year where the holiday stuff really hasn't picked up. It's a Sunday. Christmas and everything's the following week. Your Christmas parties are going to be on the Friday, Saturdays of December. So you really have no excuse. I'm going to go out and say that no one has an excuse. And it's also the same time when everyone's just like not giving a shit about anything with work or anything, and they're in the mood to hang out and drink and
mail it in.
Folks, heaters, mail it in. So December 17th, we're locking it in. Unless I haven't talked to my wife, if we have something going on, and we might have to change it. So I don't know.
Always keep that window open, but I'm tentatively very excited.
Yeah, very excited as well. All right, fun point. 3 more. The last 3 are kind of chalk. We're gonna talk waivers. We don't have to go through everything, but kind of just it's a madhouse right now with waivers. Broly had the number 1 spot, and he picked up DeMarco last week, the running back for the Cardinals. He shit the bed.
Yeah, DeMarcado, Rubio.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's no fault of anyone. Like he was going to be the starting running back. I picked up Devontae for him. I didn't play him, but like he was supposed to have a good day, and I very well could have played him as the only running back for the Bears. I think he had 5 or 6 points. It's just there's not been the standalone, 100% guaranteed waiver pick the last few weeks. It's just been a very 50-60% chance of them hitting. They should, but who knows? And there have been a lot of waiver pickups. I'm going through it. I have to click next 25 like 4 times to get to last week.
Yeah. I just don't. Me, Shay, Derek, and you have been sitting out the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
On the waiver wire. There just hasn't been. It's a well-run league, highly competitive. Everyone's hawking it. I just feel like a rookie tight end gets added every week and then dropped another week. And then I want by the end of the year to count how many teams Kadarius Toney has been on. We have Derek's red team picked him up. I think the scoop of Mecole Hardman from coming back from the Jets to the Kansas City might have been hey, we're tired of this. Very funny situation with Kadarius Toney last week where I think they had him run a zone read where he lines up at quarterback. They direct snap it to him. He is reading the defensive end, but actually had made up in his mind he was going to take it himself either way, got absolutely blown up. Then they had like a sweep play option throw. and double covered. Don't throw that ball. He does. Like, I don't know why they had him making decisions. Maybe they're trying to have it be like a last gasp effort to get that guy some juice, or try to show him off before dumping him on some other team. But yeah, I mean, he'll sizzle again at some point and somebody will pick him up. But I think we'll have that number up to 4 or 5 teams by the end of the year of where he's been.
I think it's at least 3 now.
It's just, I mean, he was drafted by you, correct? So there's the origin.
I've gone through 4 tight ends in the last 9 days. Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, Jonnu Smith, and now I'm playing that rookie from Green Bay, Musgrave.
Yeah.
It's a
tight end, man.
God, if you can get some points out of tight end, that's a morale boost right there. Anyway, yeah. So waivers have been crazy. But this is my opportunity too to just say that good luck going on any type of waiver shows or articles of who to pick up.
Right.
9 out of 10 are going to be picked up on teams already. It doesn't help BAMS. BAMS is as iron as it gets. We sharpen each other on a weekly basis. It's a good thing. So kudos to the league for being stout. Anything else on waivers?
Nope.
Okay, dead guys. Everyone died.
Yes. And yeah, so you missed last week as we deaded some guys. I still am 0 on the season. I know you have at least one under your belt prior to last week, and you hit again last week. One of your dead guys was Ryan Tannehill, correct? Who
Yes.
I live bet the Titans 2 plays before Ryan Tannehill got deaded. I woke up from the Nogs bachelor party Sunday morning, checked in on the game. I was like, Titans are Vrabel's gonna find a way to win this game. Let's throw this in. Tannehill high ankle sprain, I think, super quickly after I got that bet in. Funny thing, Malik Willis, I begin screaming at the TV as he's entering. He hasn't done a thing, and I'm like, no one understands how bad this guy is. Can't run, can't throw. So bad. Whatever. They're about to get within the number. All I got to do is score a touchdown. They get 1st and goal from the 1 thanks to a flag. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I know this guy sucks, but they score and we'll win this money. Malik Willis drops back, rolls out left, goes backwards 10 yards, gets to the out of bounds where all he has to do is just this, and it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1. Just takes a sack in bounds for 10-yard loss. And then I'm like, you're definitely not converting this into a touchdown. And he didn't. So there you go. That was my bonus segment of getting into my betting life.
Pretty sure he's going to be on the waivers and not picked up. Malik Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a quarterback this weekend. It's not going to be him.
Just have Herbert. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got 9 minutes. We don't need to hit all 9 minutes. We got stuff to do. But quick dead guys. Quarterback this week for me, Tua.
He's been playing a lot of weeks.
This is a hashtag double dead. Because I'll let you get into your rationale or just take me through it. But it's one of the most obvious deads we've ever seen. And maybe it's me getting competitive where you're up 2-0 on me in the dead, but like I've gotten too fancy. I've gotten too cute. I have to go chalky. And so if we overlap on this one, we overlap on this one, but it's like a 100% guarantee.
Well, here's the thing. It is the amount of points that they're putting up as a team. Mostert, Tyreek Hill, Tua, all together, setting records. There is a mean that needs to be regressed to. And how's it going to happen? We don't have to reach for this. It's a concussion. He's going to get smoked, blindsided.
Ben, yes, exactly. It's exactly. Do you know who they're playing?
Yeah, it's a good matchup, right?
Yeah.
Philly?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what's his face?
Do you know where they're playing?
Carter? Philly.
Yeah.
Do you
know what the weather is?
Not warm.
It's bad. It's bad.
Not warm. This is awesome. See, this is why we're good. I don't know the details you do. I just that BS.
But yeah, it's a classic hands around the waist, and you do kind of like the swinging hip toss, ragdoll, and but like there's all this stuff about
Not
the
funny. Not funny.
jujitsu and everything, and it's just like you could prepare all you want as a fucking 23-year-old of learning how to move your body. That is set in stone. You're not going to change the way that you react to getting whipped around. And I just get an elbow down, or it's the shoulder up by the ear, and you're fine. But he doesn't do that. He's gonna get whipped to the ground. And I apologize, but it's just what's gonna happen here. And maybe it's the connection to Ford being a Dolphins fan that we're just a little bit more heartless about this one, or more cavalier. But we're just calling it how we see it.
Yeah. I think the wide receivers also a gimme. It's Julio Jones.
Oh gosh. Which, yeah, I mean, like that receiver room has gotten so thin. Because I think it's like Quez Watkins is on the IR, something like that. But like, yeah, they've rifled through a lot of dudes, and they're just like, Julio, come on board here.
Yeah, and I don't know about Devontae Smith, but I know he's got a hamstring, and I don't know if he's gonna play or not, but he's also not 100%. So yeah, it's a given. I mean, he plays and then he gets hurt, and that's my wide receiver. You got anything on your mind for wide receivers?
While I was talking about being chalky, and that's the other thing, I've been trying to be nice about everything, like not like that. There's no nice in we're deading people. So it's Adam Thielen. This is just take what's there. So
trade him away.
This is like apologies to, I believe he's a Derek's Rad Team guy.
He is.
Amazing waiver wire pickup, and way to get all the value you did out of him. But oh no, did I dead a guy who's on a bye? He's on a bye. That is so tough.
Oh, I mean, the way things are going, if he ate something bad this week and doesn't play next week or something, imagine deading someone on a bye. That's an all-time. That's a stretch. And I like it. You know what?
Now I just have to. It's only because I pulled up Derek's team.
Go ahead.
It's a hot topic. Let's stick with it. Kadarius Toney. He had 9 injury designations last year. Different injury designations. Guy loves inventing new ways to get hurt. I just noticed that he's in the starting lineup for Derek's Rad Team after that acquisition. So like this was a need for that week. Maybe with Miko Hardman around the corner, they just go nuts. Kadarius will give you tons of opportunities, and then he finds a way to injure himself.
Love it. Running backs. I'm gonna stay on the same theme as Julio Jones, and Leonard Fournette lucked out by not signing this week, so we're gonna go up to Green Bay and dead James Robinson.
Oh,
yep.
Hold on. James Robinson?
Yeah. Illinois State.
Talk about me missing all of that. I know nothing about that.
Yeah, a lot of guys are starting to sign all these running backs that, James Robinson. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but I started seeing him earlier in the week. I'm like, I'm just deading guys who just signed this week, these old guys and guys who are cold.
I like it.
Literally. Yeah.
I'll go with because Aaron Jones is questionable, so that now makes sense. And I know that because he's on the squeezes. It's an attack on Ford, but it's just like same reasoning. Why wouldn't I also go with Raheem Mostert, who's an old running back playing in Philly in bad weather? It's just like, again, let's try to attack. Let's try to really focus in on history here. And
Jeff Wilson's active.
Try to get an easy bucket. What's that?
Jeff Wilson's active, so let Mostert cook kind of mindset by the coaches.
I love it. Yeah. So I'm actually a Tua Mostert, Kadarius Toney is about as aggressive as I've gotten of like, I'm really tired of losing in the dead guys. Yeah. So I'm trying to get myself a bucket this week.
I love it. All right. We did this as a short. Good to know. Next time we do 10
points,
it's
a full length episode.
It's going to be full length because my last point, it'll be a quick one, is that get excited. We're almost halfway through the season. Do you remember what our episode halfway through the season last year was?
Oh, not at all. No.
Think mojitos and cabo wabos. And
Oh, yeah.
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 So we're gonna do a power ranking episode next week.
I love it.
I was given the idea by Groles about having everyone submit their power rankings, and we'll reveal what they come out to be, and we
I
can
love
talk
it.
about them. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna be doing that next week. That will not be a short. That will be we'll have to breathe. We'll have to go quick through that because that's a lot of info. But yeah, so that's my last point: is get excited for the power ranking episode next week. Halfway there.
I love
think.
it. I love it. Yeah. So
Yeah, halfway.
look at us go.
Yeah, this is a short. We're 2 minutes. We never do this.
Yeah.
Look at us. Well, great. Let's get back to work. I got some more stuff to do. I'm gonna go take the dog for a walk. And any final words to the group?
No. It was super fun stretching this for a full episode
Yeah.
off of the quick hitter. So I actually rescind earlier. I said this would be a hashtag BAMS short. Nope. It's just there you go, a standard recap. And I have nothing else to say. Love you guys.